just went south. Without much ado, I'd like to welcome again my guests. One of them is a great writer, the other is a great actress and a thinker. Why I call you a thinker is because I've been talking to you, and it's interesting how you answer questions.
Why is that?
I don't know. There's just something about how you answer questions. So talk to us a little bit about the production, and then you're going to talk to us about maybe the casting and how you got to choose the rest of the team.
Right.
Yeah.
So the play is called Death by Their Lies. And I wrote it when I was inspired by seeing how dysfunctional families work. And I noticed that lies were always the biggest factor in those families. So I wanted to create a story of a simple family so it can create for me an avenue to make each character so preposterous, so crazy in how they are as people. So it can be a very cohesive story.
Nice. One thing I love about plays is that you must steal some of that in reality. Maybe from a story you heard from someone.
Yeah.
That's why they usually say don't befriend a writer because they might snitch on you. But how has it been working with him? Because I know coming up with a production is not easy, and keeping in mind that you have to self-critique before you present it to people. Just talk to us about the whole journey of you being part of the cast. Yeah.
So when Ken approached me with the idea, I was like, absolutely, because Ken has that passion. He's very intentional in how he approaches his passion for drama and the arts in general. So I knew it wasn't going to be hard to work with him because he has a clear vision and he knew how to execute it. It's just a matter of just being there for him, and that's what we as a cast agreed on. We knew that there's a bunch of sacrifice that was going to go into it, a lot of laughs, a lot of tears. But in the end, we hope that it's going to be an amazing, compelling production. Yeah.
You're in Rusinga. Your curriculum is somewhat different from the ordinary syllabus. But that aside, you get to interact with people from different walks of life, maybe coming to tell you now, this is how it should be done. Or how did you prepare for this? Because Kalsini is my friend. She knows a lot of deep stuff in Kenyan theatre and Kenya drama festivals. How different is your production from all these other productions that we've watched before?
So when we first started this process, it was a workshop with a man called Mr. Alakok. I hope I'm saying his name correctly.
I hope so too. I don't know.
So one of the things he told us to do was look at the wall and tell the wall our life story. And we have to shout so you can hear us from the back of the hall. And when I tell you we got such core strength. We were shouting and shouting for so many minutes, and I feel like that stripped away all of our anxieties and it stripped away all of our fears, and we were able to become as raw as possible. So you can make this production as raw as possible in our emotions, in how we see our lines, and just to make it as realistic as possible for the audience. That's what I think sets it apart from other productions. What
sets you apart from other productions?
I mean, first of all, it's written by a student, a very passionate student. I feel like it's a very open and raw story, but from a very different perspective. I don't want to give too much away, but I think it's a very unique portrayal of, like Ken said, a very dysfunctional family and how their pain and how that pain sort of manifests into like all kinds of dysfunction within each other and the relationships around them. Yeah,
that's really exciting. I'd really like to watch it because first of all, I've met the writer and the people behind it. The people behind you can't just do that. We've seen what you've done, but it's exciting how at your age you've now been put on the spot. Where you have to do your own research, you have to get to know what's the life of this character and build onto it. I know working with a cast is difficult. Different personalities. What's the most difficult part about maybe coming up with this production? I know there's the lonely part where you had to write it and then present it. A little bit anxious with that. But then there's where you're now given space to do the casting. What happened?
So one thing I did was I typecasted each character, and that was kind of a mistake because we didn't know how our lives would be during the time of rehearsals. So people had different schedules. That was the biggest issue. Rehearsals was sometimes a mess, and even right now we're still trying to figure it out because the production is in a few weeks. So that's the hardest part about typecasting and working with the cast. It's just people's schedules, especially being in year 13 in A level. It's just so much work, honestly.
Was it difficult working with different personalities? Because sometimes you have the vision, you have the, and then someone else just comes. Okay, you and your vision.
Sorry, different plan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing as Ken. It's just. It's tough typecasting when you have a clear vision of what you want it to be, and someone says no, I can't do it on this day, I can't make it on this day. So it just feels like your vision is slowly like drifting away, and it's forcing you to sort of restructure everything that you wished you could be to something different. I mean, that something different could be better, it could be worse. We don't know, but we're willing to take that chance. We're willing to trust the process.
So it's super crazy for you guys to actually. You're now waiting. I know you're anxious to stage it. When are you staging it?
So we're staging it on 28th and 29th of this month, and there's 4 shows. So 28th, 11 a.m., 3 p.m. 29th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Am I invited?
Front row.
Buy the tickets right now.
Are you kidding
Leave
me?
alone buying the tickets. That's a non-issue. Because sometimes you want to come watch a production and you're told, "Where is your student ID?" I'm like, "I don't work here."
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay. You
We'll have your face. It's your face on the
I know
VIP
people,
list.
right? Okay, thank you so much for creating time to actually talk to us.
No, thank you.
What would be your parting shot? What would you like to? There's someone who's watching you right now. They want to be like you, better than you, or worse than you. So there's someone who just wants to be where you are today. What would be your advice for them?
Just do it.
You look at the camera. Okay, this camera.
The Nike swoosh, just do it. Because Ken took the chance, tried to play, be vulnerable with his story, and look where he is now. I mean, it might not be the same for everyone. It might be better. It might not be what they expected, but I think there's always a payoff when you put yourself out there, when you're vulnerable with your intentions, with your passion. There's always a payoff. Yeah.
My father told me, there's nothing in this world you cannot have. And that has been my words of wisdom for everyone and for myself also. Just take the chance. Just do it. Just do it at all times.
Yo, thank you so much for creating time to talk to me. Because when you win the Oscars and the Grammys and the whatever award you win, the Tonys, I'm gonna be right there and say, I gave them the first TV interview. They really tried to get me, but I was busy. They had to wait a year. But then, thank you so much for just talking to me about
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
So make sure that you go check out their play. I'm gonna post it on my feed. That is on my Instagram. Mtayangalia, and then you go check out how you can actually purchase the tickets. But for now, we move on. We take a short commercial break. Before we do that, I need to tell you that Meghan Markle and Harry have decided to pull it. Yeah, pull it up. Like, this is our deal with Netflix, and they're like, not anymore. So they had a back and forth with Netflix after agreeing to do a short documentary with them soon after they met the king. So if you don't know the full details about this, just take a look